Can't go and stand on line while Ronaldo's taking a penalty. That's the same as someone stood behind you when you're about to chuck out or you're playing a fish.
We've touched the nerve here, haven't we?
I'd be losing my
How angry he boxed backwards. I'm like, what are you doing? He went, people kept thinking I knew what I was doing because my name's on the box and it turned it around. Square in the mouth. It should count.
But how can you...
in its mouth as well. I don't think that's fair. But
but you can't police that.
Just think, Benny's come all the way through this show without getting hammered, and we've got to the last hurdle and he's going to get hammered. I'm going to come straight in with a question this week because I think this is a great one, quite on topic, and it definitely will influence us all. It's a question from a guy called Andy Brooks, and it relates to skylining, people on the bank disturbing your fishing, something that really gets to me at times, and it gets brought up in the main podcast loads as well. People hate it. A lot of match anglers, good match anglers, absolutely hate it. So it's a great question. Andy Brooks 681 he's put noise. Which one is it? I watch so many videos and hear people saying, be quiet on the bank, don't make noise. Noise scares fish. And in the next breath, it's drop your bait in from a height. Make noise to draw fish in. Tap your pole on the water to bring fish in. Are we saying that fish can distinguish between the different noises? And I thought that's a great question, but it also leads into a lot of other things about the skylining side of things and bankside disturbance. Because I think personally, there's a clear difference between noise that attracts fish and noise that scares fish. What do you boys reckon? Give me your opinions. I'll kick off with you, Roon, because I'm normally going to ring her first. Noise. Fishing.
Well, yeah, it's not ideal, is it? I think you just need to be respectful, I think. Especially on commercials, if they're shallow and stuff, I think it can be affected by noise or even movement quite a bit. One example is Barston, for example. I remember fishing, I think it was that 2-part match, is it Midland Angler?
Yeah.
And in the second part of the match, it's pole. And I remember sitting there catching quite well. I won't say one a chuck because that's being big-headed, but I was catching quite well, shallow. And a mate of mine come up behind me and started chatting, didn't think nothing of it. He kept rubbing his feet in the gravel. And over the next sort of 10, 15 minutes, missed a bite, foul hooked one, getting less bites. And I'm thinking, and then I clicked what it was. And you're like, can you fuck off? Because you knew exactly what it was. So I think there's occasions where it does affect you. But I think if you be respectful, and what you've got to remember as well, if you're on a public lake, the majority of people aren't going to understand what you're doing. So I think you just have to be polite and say, can you fuck off, please? No, can you move out the way, please? And I think that's a little bit fair. But yeah, it's frustrating because basically you've got your plan, you're doing your match, and something outside of that's going to affect it. I know it happens with lots of things, but yeah, I think we need to be respectful on the bank. I don't mind a little bit of chatting. I think that's important. You're out, it's a day out at the end of the day, innit? You're with your mates, you're with people you like, not shouting, but having a good natter with a lad next to you. I don't mind that at all. But
what about you, Stephen? What's your thoughts? Noise on the bank.
There's no doubt noise and vibration is massive. I always remember many moons ago, used to fish Castle Ashby a lot. Very shallow venue, full of carp. I remember being there on one flat, calm day. There were loads of carp cruising around, and someone a couple of pegs up slammed a car door.
Killer.
The lake completely erupted with fish, from 10 metres out to 100 metres out. So they can hear or sense that vibration miles and miles out. And I also remember, and sometimes it can't be avoided, in one of my early world championships at Ghent rowing course in Belgium, I was catching roach short, and there was quite a good crowd there, up and down, and not a lot of fish were coming out. So I had a good run of roach short. So the crowd started to build up, and literally the bite stopped. So obviously I went back for bream, the crowd dispersed, came back short again. The roach had shut, crowd builds up, roach stopped feeding. It was so obvious that as soon as any volume of people built up behind you, you couldn't catch short with roach. They were just spooked. And I've seen it many times. It's an awkward one because I like to think in a normal match, I'm quite approachable, and quite often someone will come up behind you, say, "Do you mind if I watch?" And I'll always say, "Yeah, but can you just keep down?" But then some people take that as you being a miserable git.
You're
You know
not.
what I mean? I've got no problem with.
This is a big problem. This is a big problem with matches and good match anglers getting watched. Is it isn't fair someone stood behind you, top and bottom of it. It's not right. You cannot go and you can't go and stand on the line in football, whatever it's called. I don't know football. You can't go and stand on line while Ronaldo's taking a penalty. That's the same as someone stood behind you when you're about to chuck out, or you're playing a fish, or you're fishing. If anything, it's worse because they can make what you're fishing for swim away.
We've touched the nerve here, haven't we?
No, I agree.
He's
really
off.
pisses
He's
me off.
going for it. Go on.
Yeah,
It's like, are you meant to be fishermen? You should bloody know this. But like you say, I think it's great that people want to come and watch, but the amount that haven't got a clue and they just stand 6, 8, 10 meters behind you, often nattering, and it. What gets to me even more, you must have this, Steve, is once you've got one person there and then you got two and they start talking,
Yes.
and then a passerby walks by and he joins in conversation, and it's like a really bad effect.
I used to have back in the Whiteacres days, I used to have my name on the back of my box. So obviously, everyone did, didn't they? It was a bit of a fad. They used to have a sticker saying your name.
I think there's a WhatsApp group for this, isn't there?
Yeah, and obviously, but sometimes like it'd be like full, it's pissing it down. So you've got your hood up and everything, but obviously, so people didn't recognise you. But then obviously they read the name off the back of the box and then stop and skyline the hell out of you. And that was the reason I removed the stickers in the end. Because like sometimes this sounds awful, yeah. But you'd see someone come in and you'd think, he's going to skyline the shit out of me.
Oh, yeah, you like that?
Yeah, you pull your hood up. Oh, the other one is, hello? Yeah. Just got a call, yeah. Just got a call. Pretend to be on the phone. And it's not, I've got no problem. And I've had loads of people come up behind me, do you mind if I watch for an hour? And I'll always say to them, of course you do. Of course you can. Just keep back, keep low. And I said, if you've got any questions, come to me at the end and I'll answer every single question you've got for me. But I said, I'm not great at talking during a match, which I think is fair. You paid your money, you've entered the match. But like, I've had it so many times, and I hate my match being ruined by something out of my control. I saw Frankie report from Hallcroft the weekend.
Yeah.
Obviously, someone was servicing their car 5 meters behind his peg, which is, I don't know, things that are out of your control bug me because I can handle messing my own peg up. But I hate somebody else messing it up for me, if that makes sense. And it does make a difference. I'll go back to when I used to fish Tunnel Barn a lot. People have a habit of, when they're set up, they all gather behind one peg.
Yeah.
They do it on purpose.
And I hate that when it's my peg. But I've had it before where, like, I'm a bit slow. So there's like 8 people behind my peg. So I walk off thinking they'll follow, and they still stand there.
Yeah. I say something, though, now with that, Steve. I've had it a few times, and I'll say, if you want to have a natter, come on. We'll go and have a natter and a coffee, but we're not standing behind my peg. We'll go and stand up the bank or in between some pegs, because it does make a difference. I always think, like, half an hour before the start of a match, why would you have something happening behind you that you wouldn't have an hour later? Like, because if 3 or 4 people stood there and now we're into the match, I'd be losing my shit.
There was definitely something.
Why do it just before the start?
There's definitely something on a few venues, getting to your peg quick, tackling up, getting out the way.
Yeah.
And then letting everyone else who arrives late disturb the water, etc. And
push them into your peg.
They push them into your peg. I've got no doubt that happens. But we're now going to sound like, well, Roon might be okay, but me and you are the most miserable men in angling.
No, but the thing is, we're the least miserable because it's great. Like, and I have this.
No, you're a miserable fucker when you're fishing. I
have to concentrate though, but I do exactly what you say. And if people stand behind, I go, not a problem at all. Sit down. I'm not being a rude bastard, but I can't concentrate and talk to you. So we'll have a chat at end. But as long as you stay down and quiet, absolutely fine.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. But I've said that to people, and you can see straight away they're like, "What a miserable git," and then stormed off.
Yeah, and then they write about you on Facebook.
Paul Newell used to say at Tunnel Barn when someone come. Obviously, Paul Newell, I know he watches the weigh-in because he messages me about it, but he can be a bit grumpy, and I think he won't.
We'll get Newley on. He'd be a great one, wouldn't he?
Brilliant podcast as well. He described it as like somebody walked onto the bank at Tunnel Barn, and he said it was like walking onto the F1 grid before the start without paying. He said you wouldn't do it. So what are you doing, pal?
Yeah.
Or walking onto the pitch at Villa Park in the middle of a game, he said.
I'm so passionate about it, right? Because I did a lot of my early match fishing on the Steynie.
Yeah.
And the Steynie, right, is one straight line. It's a deep canal. It's like 10, 11, 12 foot deep. And we were fishing 13, 14 metres in 10 foot of water for roach in winter. And you used to get 2 or 3. We used to call one of them the Grim Reaper because he'd walk down about an hour to go every time. And it was like, who's going to get him this week? And he'd stand behind you. And the amount of time you'd not know he would come in, that was the thing. You'd be sat there concentrating, chipping in and out, got one. You'd chip out and you'd wait all of a sudden for a bite. And you'd be like, what's going on here? Then it'd go under, you catch a little tiny perch. Then you drop it in again, not get a bite. Turn round. Old Grim Reaper stood behind you. He didn't know you were there with his dog, Silent Assassin, and he's knackered you. He's knackered your peg. He's like just him stood there, and that's on a 10-foot deep canal, stood 8 metres behind you, fishing 13 metres out when there's a million fish to catch, and it made a massive difference. So that's what really tattooed it into me, that it does make a massive difference. I'm convinced of it. And just being quiet and sitting down silent pretty much solves it. It really does.
I'm sure I used to see Frankie give that bloke a tenner every week.
My dad used to have a guy, and he used to Grim Reaper. My dad used to call him Mr. Nightmare. Wherever my dad was fishing, he'd turn up. And one day, my dad was on the ooze on a river match, and massive walk. So he said, and it got to his peg. It was a really steep bank. Got down the bottom of the bank, and he thought, "Bloke will never find me today." And he said, about 3 hours in, he could hear some sticks breaking. And then he said this figure stood right on top of the bank and he let go with him. "At last, Jeff, I found you."
Like a dinosaur coming through the tree.
Yeah, he used to turn up every single match and stand so close, like you couldn't move.
Unbelievable.
And my dad would be like, "That's the end of that then."
Yeah.
It's a massive thing.
It's a nightmare, isn't it?
But it doesn't take a lot of effort. I think all match anglers are approachable, but you approach them in the right way. And after a match, everyone will answer any questions you've got.
Maybe we need some new stickers for the back of our boxes. Do not disturb.
Yeah, and that comes across as miserable, didn't you?
Yeah. I've got a funny story about having your name on your back of the box. So my dad does a little bit of fishing, not much. And when I was younger and I used to work in the tackle shop on a Saturday, sometimes he'd go, "Oh, leave your gear and I'm going to go down the canal for a few hours." Anyway, after work, I've bombed down there to see what he's caught. And I've walked down the canal and he sat on my box with the platform behind him. So he sat on my box backwards. I'm like, "What are you doing?" He went, "People kept thinking I knew what I was doing because my name's on the box." And I turned it around.
So he turned it round.
Yeah.
Literally, though,
yeah.
20 years ago, everyone had their name on their box, their jackets, everything.
Yeah.
Now we all take all that off so no one knows who we are.
Yeah.
I think that what's important is it does make a massive difference. A little bit of courtesy in terms of sit down, be quiet, it ain't a problem. And honestly, come and chat to anyone you possibly want in fishing. I know there's some really good anglers that have been tarred with a really bad name for being rude or, fuck off, mate, I'm fishing. Like when people are making a noise behind them. And when they're in the heat of the moment, I can understand why that would frustrate them and they'd end up getting mad with it. But I honestly think that 99% of good anglers nowadays, they will talk to anyone off the bank, but when they're in that 5-hour fish catching zone, just be respectful, sit down, because it makes a huge, huge difference. Coming back to Andy's question, obviously noise, you two must have fished some situations where there's a massive factor where noise actually attracts fish as well. You must have witnessed it on so many levels, haven't you, Steve?
Yeah, and obviously it's like Yeah, basically. Well, obviously the situation is tapping a pole, but equally, when you feeder fish in, there's no doubt on some European venues, the fish come to the noise of the feeder going in.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
same, same in Ireland. Exactly.
Yeah, like exchange feeders are massively popular in Europe because they make a slightly louder noise.
Yeah.
It took me years to develop that noise correctly.
Yeah. I thought it was your casting. But no, seriously, like some venues I've been to, it's like everyone's on exchange, and when you talk to them, it's like the fish will come into the noise of the feeder company. It plays a big part in it. It's like balling it in on a river.
Yeah,
the fish come to the noise of boom, boom, boom. But obviously, repeatedly slamming a car door isn't the same noise as a feeder hitting the water. So I don't know. There's an argument stealth in certain situations, but particularly with smaller fish or places where there's a lot of fish, the right noise definitely attracts them.
Yeah, definite. Let's move it on. Obviously, you've just got back from a very busy weekend, haven't you, Ring Dog?
Yeah, I've been in Belgium doing a tackle shop open weekend, a shop called Renier's Fishing. I don't even know if that's the correct pronunciation.
Yeah.
Amazing, massive shop. And I tell you what, the shops on the continent, a lot of them are different. They have like, the best way to describe it, if you finish blowing your nose,
Sorry, I'm blowing my nose in between when I'm not on the screen.
Yeah, but obviously it's affecting the microphone, so all I can hear is you snotting.
Hang on, I'll move away. See, imagine doing this behind someone's peg.
Yeah. So no, it's not a cave because it was a massive shop, but they've got loads of little bits and pieces, really well attended. They did like a 20%, I think they've got it on a week for anyone watching in Belgium, 20% off. Or like not everything, like poles isn't 20% off, but pretty much all bits and pieces, 20% off in store. And it was mega busy, really, really busy. Like the queue, I think he measured the queue. It was for the till. It was 34 meters long at one point.
Jesus Christ!
And like, they do a lot of like Steve Salames does it. Obviously, you'll know a lot of like ground bait ingredients and stuff like that. I've got loads. Like,
did you spend a fortune? Did you buy loads of stuff?
Wouldn't you?
No, I just worked really hard and he gave me them.
He was in the queue all day.
Here we go.
But literally, like loads of like little bait pots, and people seem to really like over there, like making their own ground bait, having an edge. Like there's loads of different. These little things were really popular as well from a Polish company called Match Pro. Like a little spray that you can spray on your method ball or spray on your pellets. It's like everyone wants to be different over there.
Yeah. You know, like you two with these additives and that, you do a lot more of that sort of fishing than me. I'm going to say, do you think it makes a difference? I've fished with both of you, so I know that you both have them for certain things, and I know that you believe it makes a difference. What I would like to ask is, if you could only use one, what would it be? Like, if you could only use one additive to put on your bait room, what would it be and why?
I'd just use that mainline Smart Liquid in the cell flavour. I just think it's unbelievable. It's just, it doesn't like make drastic changes. It just gives you a lot of confidence, and it works. It works, and you can put it on up baits. You can put it in your mix. You can do whatever. It's just great.
What about you, Steve? Only one?
I don't know, because I've got a shelf full of about.
I know you have. I know you have. I've never known anyone obsessed with additives as much. It's great. I think it's really interesting. Yeah,
but additives breed. I had this chat with a lot of people over the weekend, and like people will be like, "I use this." They breed confidence. Yeah. A couple of people were like, "Would you use this?" And I was like, "No," and they were like, "We think it works." But I said, "If it works for you, then it's good, because confidence is everything. I don't know how you transmit it down the line. You know what I mean? I suppose if I had to pick one,
original pineapple goo.
Exactly, yeah. That's the only one. That'd be the one.
I knew it.
But you can't pick one because every water is different. You know what I mean? Some waters, certain things respond better than others. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying you need a shelf like mine in the garage, but like I'm always looking, and it was really noticeable over there in Belgium. A lot of people are looking for something just to make their bait stand out a little bit different.
You've got one as well, Matt. You've got one as well, and I know you have. What you add to your ground bait all the time? I like sweetener.
I love sweet me. I just think, but obviously a lot of my fishing silverfish based or natural water. The two things that I think make a massive difference are salt and sweetener. And
I can't believe how much you add of that sweetener.
Yeah,
that's what all these sort of things are. These are some sort of sweeteners.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, but you talk to the people over there and they're literally like, one guy was saying when he's making his turning his casters himself, gets the maggots, dampens them, sprinkles the powder on, turns the caster, and then he said when you crush the caster, the smell comes out of the caster.
That's ridiculous.
And he was like, for Bream, it is incredible.
It's next level, that, isn't it?
Yeah, but I thought it was quite clever. But I said, what happens? He said, if you break the caster, you can smell the sweet. He said, when the Bream are eating the casters, they go mad for the sweet. Quite clever, really.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm going to start turning my own casters.
You're such a liar.
No, he said, literally, just damp your maggots, dust them with the sweetener, and then he said, if you crush them in your hand, you can smell the sweet smell.
I like
It'd be interesting to let us know, folks, below. Like, have you got a additive that you think? If you don't want to say what it is, just tell us you've got a super secret one and you're convinced. But I'd be really interested if you've got anything weird that definitely works or you've got loads of confidence in. Let us know below because it'd be good to read them out and hear some of your theories on next week's show. So get them in the comments. That'd be really cool. I'm going to move it on again. And this is a question from... I think I got sent this one on Facebook or via email from Stuart Burridge, and I thought it were quite a topical one. I don't know which way this argument/vote's going to go, but it gets brought up quite a bit, to be fair. And he's put, do you think pike should count in matches as we count all other species? I caught one on the Larford Specimen Lake, £12 1 ounce, last week to win my section and go into a final after a little bit of controversy, which got sorted. What do you think about, well, I'm going to say pike counting in matches, but I mean, you could sort as a pike, zander, and game fish. Do you think we should count them in matches or not? Like if you were sat there running a stick float down on Trent, catching chub and roach, and all of a sudden it went clunk and you caught £1.5 grayling or a pound brown trout, what's the difference between catching that and catching a pound chub?
Yeah, but the difference is when you're reeling in on a hard day with that small roach really slowly, and then a pike eats it. But I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm split on it. You know what I mean? Like obviously when you go on World Champs, sometimes zander count because the local rule. I'm sure when I went to Italy on Ostolato, zander counted because the local rule is they count. But most places they go, I go, pike don't count. And I think it's for the reason what I said. Maybe not in years gone by. You used to hear stories of people twitching back silver paper, trying to catch a pike on a hard day, or hooking small roach, reeling in really slowly, and then to get a pike to take the roach and then try and land the pike. So personally, I think if I had to make a decision, I'd say they shouldn't count. Purely on the basis that people bend the rules. You know what I mean? And that's the problem. And like, I'd hate to be beat by someone who maybe afterwards they said, was reeling in a small roach isn't cheating if the pike count.
Especially
reeling
really
in slowly
on a hard day because you don't want to lose it, do you?
No, but it's not cheating, but it's gamesmanship.
Of course it is.
And I don't know. I'd just rather take that out of the equation. And I think
just really enjoying the fight off this gudgeon.
Because that's quite a weird one. Because I'm guessing, was it Stuart's talking about goldenrod?
He must be.
Yeah. Whereas obviously me and my brother Phil have ran goldenrods at Boddington, and there's been multiple pike caught there, and we haven't counted them because they don't count in matches there.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. Obviously, Phil Briscoe obviously has a different rule at Larford, but the same competition.
Yeah, cracking fish to catch on a method, isn't it?
We've had guys who would have won. We had guys at Boddington who would have won money if the pike counted, but obviously the rule is they don't count at Boddington. But I've seen some big ones caught like just by accident on a wafter, like 18, 19 pound.
I think if you've caught it fair and square in the mouth, it should count.
Yeah, how can you
roach in its mouth as well? I don't think that's fair. But
you can't police that.
No, I know you can't police it, and that's the problem. But I think, like the lad who's caught the pike in Larford, he ain't fishing for pike, is he? And
he had it on a little mess.
Yeah, he's got it in a dumbbell.
Little chunk of mackerel. He said he was just inching it back, and it took it.
Got it fair and square. I think count it. But the only thing I do agree with when they ban certain species is like obviously Zander are terrible if you put them in a keep net. A pike wouldn't be very good. You know,
Rob Wotton's good at looking after Zander.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, get him on. We could talk.
We might be able to find a picture to overlay afterwards of a cracking Zander in Ostolato. Just don't look at its eyes.
Is that Grim Reaper fella that you know about? But yeah, that's the problem. It's hard to police, so it's easy to say no. But I think if he's caught it fair and square, I kind of like it. We've gone fishing, haven't we? I think it's fun if you catch it.
If I trusted everyone to fish for it properly, as in catch it by accident, then it'd be fine. But I know people don't.
Yeah, we used to fish the Fosdyke Winter League, right, on there, and it were like always lobby were great. You used to catch loads of perch on lobby, but pike were a right nightmare, you know, because you'd drop your lobby in and it'd just be going down slow and it'd settle and it'd go dunk, and that's what normally happened when it was big perch. And it'd slowly go away, and you'd be like, God save the Queen, because it was the Queen then. Whack! And the number of times I used to use 11 Ollie and a 12 B560, a number of times you get back thinking like, yes, £3 perch, and it'd pop up, it'd be a little jack pike. Like so many of them. And they never
to me, though, like, in reality, that pike's caught fair and square. So
loads of them. In a match, 4 or 5 would get caught every single match.
Yeah, that's fair. If you're jigging a lobworm and you catch a pike, I wouldn't have an issue with that.
No, it's the policing of it though. It's the policing of it, like you say. It really is. Personally, my take on it is ban pike in matches completely. They're a sensitive predatory fish that shouldn't be in a keep net. And I also think ban game fish, trout, salmon, and probably grayling and all, because they are a different genre of fish. I love catching them. I'd love to catch them, but I just don't know. And it doesn't really come about very often. I don't have to consider it very often either.
There's a few trout in Tamar. Obviously, they don't count there either.
No. Remember at Whiteacres when you used to get a mega bite on the feeder and the trout would jump out?
Yeah.
Whiteacres?
Yeah.
Fourth.
Oh, fourth. Yeah. But some places used to stock them, didn't they? Some people used to put trout in.
Didn't Lindholm used to stock massive trout in the winter? Yeah,
it was great. It was so good. Just catch them on sweet corn down edge in like when it was frozen. And Ranskill used to as well.
It was quite a popular thing, like in the winter, because it got bites, didn't it?
Yeah. And it made the other fish feed because they were like busy, active fish that used to dart about everywhere, eating everything. It made the other fish feed a little bit as well.
Bring back trout.
Trout matches. You boys been out tackle testing with a few interesting bits and bobs. Didn't you go Barston last week and have a great day?
Yeah, we did actually.
What were you doing? Are you allowed to say? Can we talk about this day out or not?
Yeah, we were testing the new Mark II method and hybrid feeders.
Oh, fish! Look at that.
Nice. Mint fish in Barston. There is some mint fish in Barston.
Yeah. Mine's nicer.
Anyone can catch F1.
Yeah, it's an F1, I think. I don't know.
That is an F1, yeah.
So we had a cracking day, really. I think we, to be fair to Steve and Brandon, they got there before me and found.
Oh, when they get the violin out.
Found where the fish were. I was being complimentary, Steve.
Oh, I thought you were going to say sat on the left of the swim where all the fish were and cut me off.
Well, you do that every time, but we won't go into that. But yeah, we found where the fish were, and within 40 minutes we started catching a few.
Yeah, nice. And, considering I think it had ice on it the day before.
Yeah,
like loads of bites and mint fish. The new feeders performed very, very well. I don't know how much detail we can go into about them.
Got one.
Pardon?
You got one.
You got one there? I haven't got one.
When can we see them, Roon? Like, realistic, because people are going to comment on this. Like, when is this going to happen? So
2034 we're aiming for.
Okay.
So if you can we'll start promoting them now.
Go on, let's have a little look.
I'll just show you the big one so you can see it. obviously the hybrid feed has been out for a long time, but this is the Mark II. Looks very similar.
Looks the same to me, mate. That don't know what you've done.
There's a few for the people with. Also, if people look at the design, there's a few very subtle changes that make quite a big difference.
Yeah, the big thing is these have taken ages to do. I mean, we haven't really had to update it from a sort of sales point of view. The hybrid's been very consistent for many years, and I know quite a lot of people have done similar. But we thought we'd try and update it, and it took a little while, to be honest. But what we've done now is we've adjusted the sizes slightly. We've made every size. So if you buy a large now, the capacity is the same, whether it's 20 gram or 60 gram. So we've fine-tuned them, and we've also adjusted how the weight is distributed even more. Whereas before we started off with just a few and then added to the range, and you tended to get different capacities and stuff. We've just kept it all the same, and we've got lots of exciting things to come with them. Some new stems, some new beads, and we've also done a Mark II method feeder as well, which again, they both look very similar to what they used to look like, the all-important platform on these. But again, this is something I never really wanted to do this slot really, because I like to do things from scratch and design my own things. And this system was actually designed by MAP originally, but every brand has ripped it off now. But unfortunately, it's become sort of in, the international rules now for Steve's fishing for inline only on the, what's it called? Freestyle World Champs. I can't not have Steve using our feeders on things like that. So yes, reluctantly, we've had to do it. It's a cool system, but it was maps originally. So I never really wanted to tread on their feet. And I'm a massive believer in elasticated feeders from a safety aspect. If you can make that elastic eject properly, I think it's much better and safer than inline. But we've had to go with this, and the changes we've made to our method feeders. Back in the day, it was like, how can you break down the bait as quick as you can? Now people, especially in Europe and the type of fishing Steve's doing on the freestyle thing, you need that bait to stay on a little bit longer. So we've added some extra fins, and it's got a little tiny recess all around the feeder now. So the bait stays on nearly twice as long. And there's a whole new range of these, and we've included the same sizes. So they're all uniform now. So there's large, medium, small, mini, and then there's going to be some new XDs, which will make people's eyes pop out when they see them because they're totally different to these. But yeah, been really good, really pleased with them. And just, again, lots of little changes. You can't make massive changes to stuff now. It's all very good.
No, but it's like in fishing. Small changes, changing something by 1-2% can make quite a big difference to performance.
How many?
You can't completely redesign the feeder by changing the weight distribution. You can improve the casting, but visually it might look like a tiny difference.
Yeah,
but it might give you another 10 meters.
I couldn't believe how far you were casting a lighter feeder than you'd normally cast.
Yeah, but that's just
unbelievable. But
the distribution in weight helps the casting, but also it helps the landing as well, which is equally important.
Yeah, the landing was good as well. But yeah, quite exciting. That realistically, probably going to see him end of summer. They're in production now. We've obviously got new mould coming for the medium-sized method, and there's lots of other things coming with them as well. So it's a project we've been working on for quite a while now, Steve, isn't it? How would you make something that's really good even better? Bit like the Aventus R rods we were using as well. But put them two together. I sound like a sales ploy now, but it's not. I was just very excited about what we're doing.
One question I'd ask, Roon, and the punters and the public must be thinking this, and I don't mean to go against what you're doing in any way, but why has it taken so long for Tackle Guru, a leading feeder fishing, commercial fishing brand, to start developing or to get developing this sort of system where you can interchange different feeders without cutting your line off? The quick change style system that obviously this is all going to be going to later this summer. Why has it taken you so long to get onto that?
Just purely respect. That's the honest truth. The boys have wanted to do it for ages, but I remember when MAP did it originally, it was a long time ago. It was probably like a tackle and gun, and I thought, do you know what, that's really good. And I think they do some really good innovative stuff. And I never really wanted to tread on their feet. But, we developed that X-Safe system. We designed a safe elasticated system, which we went around fisheries, and some fisheries only allow that as an elasticated option. And if you look at any fishing videos with how the elastic stretch and protects the side of the fish and obviously cushions the hook hold, you don't get any rips and stuff. It's a lot safer when used properly. So I was probably a bit stubborn and I didn't want to change it. But when it comes to international rules, and our guys thrive to be in these competitions and then can't use that style of feeder, that's when I have to seriously think, yes, it's been a long time as well. It's probably been 15 years since MAP come up with that concept. I know absolutely everyone's ripped it off now, but, I hate it when people rip our stuff off. So I'm just, a bit of respect, really. That was it. So, yeah, sorry for the wait, but it's here now and it's nice. We put our own spin on it, and there's loads of exciting new products to come in that range.
You and Mark Price are going to be best friends now.
Hey!
With all this MAP crediting, he's going to love you.
I know. I didn't put the little rubber thing on though, so
Feeder Wars. Love it.
He's a lovely bloke, and I love him when he comments as well.
He always comments.
You can get a good bite off him. He loves you, Steve, doesn't he?
He does.
You're his favourite. So.
I'm surprised he's not sent a question in so he can have some free clothing.
No, he just sends abuse every week. But he does want to come on underwater, and it would be really good. He said he's going to bring some feeders along as well, which is going to transform everything. But
yes, get him on. I love Bryce. Yeah.
We will see. We can edit that bit out when it goes wrong.
We've got an exciting guest coming over this week, Roon, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
You'll like this, Steve. I don't know if you know about this or not.
I do know. Yeah, I do know.
Go on, tell him.
Well, Roon's going to tell you, because it's.
That's what I meant.
Oh, me. Sorry, you were. It looked like you were looking at Steve. We've got Tamas Walter coming over this week for a little visit, and he's also going to do a podcast with you. So, that's going to be another mega one.
Yeah.
That man's achieved and won a few things in his career so far, hasn't he?
Massively.
Probably my favourite foreign person in the world for introducing us to Zeged, Walterland. And, he's a great guy, has a great team behind him. So, I absolutely can't wait for that podcast. Yeah. And also we're going to do a bit of fishing. Steve, I might have forgot to tell you the day's changed, but if you want to come, you can come.
I was going to say, where are you going? But obviously maybe don't put it on here.
We're going Tunnel Barn Farm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
he wants to catch a chub. So
it'd be nice for you to come, Steve.
Yeah.
Right.
So we'll have a day out. We'd get some content and stuff with him as well. And we do a few projects with Tamas as well. So we're going to go for a few products and obviously the podcast. So really exciting week. And then we've got an exciting Friday as well, haven't we, Matt?
Yeah. Are you coming, Steve, on Friday?
No, I'm going practicing actually for a big league that finishes on Sunday.
Oh,
yeah. You might be fishing. You might be fishing it, Matt.
I might come practicing in the day and go out at night.
Oh, we'll see. I might not be there now.
One other question that got brought up loads last week, it must have just coincided with an announcement being made, which is quite interesting. And so many people commented on it on the comments on the actual YouTube show, was about the government's announcement, the House of Lords backed move to ban all under 16s in the UK from social media platforms. And I didn't even see it. I'll be dead honest with you. Until I started reading the comments on this show.
Started scrolling.
Yeah, I didn't see it, and I didn't even think about it. But loads of people rightly have commented, do you think this ban will change things for fishing? Because there's so much info out there that's good info, that's useful info, it's educational, it's entertaining. Will banning social media for under 16s affect fishing, the learning process, advertising events for young anglers and that sort of thing? Is it going to have an impact? What do you boys think?
Isn't there an age, officially, isn't there supposed to be an age limit anyway?
I don't know.
I'm just looking now.
For Facebook,
Facebook's 13, yeah. I don't know. Obviously, I presume it wouldn't stop them from watching fishing videos on YouTube.
No.
So I don't think it's helpful, but I don't think it'd be a disaster, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd say I don't get the impression there's like loads of kids on Facebook. I might be wrong.
Bit more Instagram. Yeah. Would it mean Instagram, TikTok? Because they've said social media platforms.
Yeah,
Is YouTube classed as a social media platform?
Nah.
No, I wouldn't think so. I think TikTok's got. I think a lot of them have got age restrictions, but also then I suppose it's how do you police? I don't know how they police that.
You'd have to give some sort of ID when you logged in and registered, wouldn't you?
Yeah, there was a lad actually in Belgium at the weekend. He was 14, spoke perfect English, like incredible. And I said, like, how did you learn it? And he said, obviously some in school. The rest from watching YouTube, like Google YouTube.
Wow.
He didn't watch Matt's videos then.
He said, what country is Matt from?
I'm not even kidding. You know, sometimes abroad, people come and say like, we can't always understand what you're saying when you're in full northern flow. Must be.
Yeah, quite a few people said they use like YouTube for like they watch the English videos and then they pick up English from watching it.
Yeah. Must be massive.
Didn't Bacco did that a lot as well, didn't he? I think Bacco had lessons, but he learned.
Yeah, his English is really good now.
Yeah, fantastic, really good.
Yeah, he is mega. We had another nice comment from a guy called Aid Smith.
Just on a separate note, Toby's just said obviously YouTube is included in Australia.
YouTube is included.
Yeah, obviously Australia's got a social media ban for under 16s, I think it is, and YouTube's part of that.
Wow, there you go.
Again, it's such a tricky one because there's so much good, but yet there's so much bad on there. It's better if these providers of this thing just cut out the content which is basically messing people's heads up and letting them view really horrible stuff. If they can manage that side of it, I think it's going to be a lot better. It doesn't matter when a kid's on there or not, really. It's just the way it is now, isn't it?
No, and also maybe trust. I know, obviously, the same as anything. There's good parents. Trust the parents a bit to make sure that they are monitoring their kids and like they're not. I know you can't monitor your child, but there is ways and means of checking what they're watching, etc.
Yeah,
I think so, and I also think that modern day human beings now are exposed to things like every day. I see things that are edgy or has language or visually, or news stories that have got violence or like it. People are exposed to it, and rightly or wrongly, of course, a lot of it is wrong. It is just there, and there's an awful lot of it. It's on the news, it's on the telly. People talk about it on the radio now more than ever, and I just think the world is like that a little bit. And common sense and educating young people as to what is right and wrong within the media, from a parental point of view, I think that's the key. I do.
Yeah, it's hard. Anyway, it's so hard, so difficult. But
definitely,
I'd rather go back in time. Me,
no social media, ban it all.
When life seemed easy,
get me a new job.
Yeah, you'd be fucked.
I wouldn't all. I don't swear.
Sorry, it's after 9.
Nice email or a nice comment from a guy called Aid Smith, who last week we touched on the mental health side of things, fishing wise, and he put, I'm a match fisherman and a serving firefighter. I suffer from PTSD and all the mental health issues related to it. The Guru podcasts are my go-to on my hour journey to and from work. It stops my mind going into dark places if I have a rough shift. Love the banter. You boys have it. Love the banter you boys have. It reminds me of the banter I have with my crew and brothers. Listening to you boys means more to me than I can explain, and others might not get it. Keep it up. What you boys do to clear your mind. Oh, and then he's put, what do you boys do to clear your mind? So, like, obviously, that it's nice to know that the podcasts are helping people. And I'll be dead honest, the normal Fishing Gurus podcast where we have guests that obviously touch on life issues and things that have happened to them. They explain that they are real and stuff happens to them that's not nice or negative. And I think that relatability and people explaining, this happens. It wasn't very nice. It happened to me. I struggle with it. My head gets to be a bit of a mess sometimes. We have a lot of that on the podcast, and we get a lot of messages come back that say, that's good, thank you. That's happened to me. Makes me feel better that he's had it happen to him, she's had it happen to her, or whatever as well. But what do you think, you boys? Obviously, we live in this world of fishing, and everyone thinks you go fishing every single day, sat on the bank, having a great time. We all know, or us three, and Toby, who's sat behind the desk now, it's not always like that. What have you boys got that helps you up here, clear your mind, keeps you fresh, makes you feel good about yourself, aside from fishing? I'm going to go you first, Roon, because obviously you instigated this chat with the mental health day that Dan ran last week.
Yeah. I've had two things that probably really make a big change in my life. And one was running, which has now turned into sort of gym, sort of HIIT classes and stuff like that. Just think it's a great way of starting your day. I go first thing in the morning, like 5:30, I'm up, 6 o'clock, 45 minutes to an hour session or a run. And that does me the world of good. I wouldn't say I struggle massively with mental health issues. I just think it puts me in a good place, to start the day, and I enjoy it. And obviously it's keeping me fit, and obviously hopefully be around as long as possible so I can see, young and grow up, etc. And then the other thing, my escapism is just cars. I love getting in my car and just going on my own or with my boy for a spirited drive.
Nice.
Usually ending up at a cafeteria or somewhere nice just for a break halfway, park the car up, usually with other people as well, so you can admire each other's cars and stuff. It sounds a bit like there's a WhatsApp group for that in there, but but no, I just love that. I love driving. I love the sensation of power, control, noise. Absolutely love it. If fishing wasn't my first sport, it would have definitely been motorsport. And they're the two things that make me tick, really.
Love it, like it. And like you said, I know you say, oh yeah, might be a WhatsApp group for that, but if you enjoy it, that is all that matters. What about you, Steve? You got anything? Because obviously you're a lot of people listening to this. It's Steve Ringer, goes fishing all the time, fishes all the big events.
You don't fish all the time, but I'll be honest, I'm not convinced match fishing's good for your mental health. Some of my biggest stresses in life come from matches.
Yeah.
So I'm not convinced, obviously, sometimes, and I think you're a little bit similar to me, Matt, as in, I don't know, it sounds really, it's something trivial, but
say it. What are you thinking?
A terrible match is bad for your mental health.
Yeah.
I'll come home dwelling on it, that lost fish, why did I play it like an idiot, etc., etc. I was talking to Adam Wakeling last night, and he lost a massive perch in the rushes yesterday at Hallcroft. I
heard him. I were on the outer and he were on the island.
And he said he played, and it was obviously really bothering him. And he said he played it like an absolute idiot, steered it into the rushes, and then couldn't understand why he lost it. And he said to me, I'll be seeing it in my sleep. And stuff like that, as a match angler, it plays on your mind. So I'm a bit like Root. I love run. I don't love running. I hate the thought of going.
Yeah.
But once I'm running with my headphones in, I can zone out and get rid of all that that lost perch in the rushes, and stuff like that. And the other thing I really enjoy is my river fishing in the winter, a bag, a net, a rod, and a rod rest, and getting 20,000 steps in, dropping in a few different swims, no pressure, and you just clear your head. You know what I mean? Your head clears, and you catch a nice chub or a barbel or whatever, and you think the world's a better place. But honestly, it depends. I'm very intense with my competition fishing, and it's not good for mental health. It's not good for my mental health. You know what I mean? I can still remember fish or lost or bad matches from 25 years ago. You know what I mean? And I think you're similar, Matt.
But surely that's a strength of yours as well, because the fact that it digs so deep and means so much must have driven so much of your success within.
Yes, it does. It does. But that's why some people say to me, obviously, fishing's amazing for your mental health. And I think for some people it is, but I'm not competition fishing at the very highest level, probably the same as any sport at the highest level, is not necessarily good for your mental health. But then my chub fishing, I think, is really good for like zoning out. And the barbel fishing, a great example of this. I go barbel fishing on the Trent, and like I put some bait in. Rooney told me how to fish it. Put some bait in. I sit in my chair under my brolly with my 2 rods up in the air, just chilling, watching the world go by. Bloke comes down, says, "You're doing it all wrong. You need to be really busy, in and out. Like you need a gallon of maggots." I'm not here for that. No, I'm here to chill. I'm sitting in my chair. I know I catch barbel, but I don't want it to be intense. Intense is matches. The other styles of fishing, I think, are really good for like mental health. Yeah, in just chilling, watching the kingfishers fly along the bank, and then when the rod goes over and you get a barbel, it's exciting. There's no pressure. But like the amount of people who come on the Trent, like if you were busier, if you did that, that's not what I'm there for. I'm there to zone out from the day-to-day normal fishing.
Yeah. I like it. Really it's I can't help but think as well, there's this thing, you must get this, you two as well. Some people come up to me, someone did it the other day actually, at Allcroft, and I was like drawing a crap peg down in bowl. This gent came up to me, like, it don't matter, does it? It's only fishing, it don't matter.
I hate that.
Yeah, and I said to him, I says, he's called Chris, this guy, I'm sure he won't mind me mentioning it. I said to him, I says, I know it doesn't matter, but I said it does to me because I love I love to be competitive. I love to be in a fishing match where I know I'm going to get some bites, catch some fish, be pushed to. And like today, I'm not in that because, and as it turned out, 6 out of 9 people in the section didn't catch a fish. It was shit. It wasn't a fishing match. This is a couple of months ago. But that attitude of it's only fishing, like to me, I know it's only fishing, but I enjoy being intense. Unless I'm trying hard, prepped well, really going to try and get into it, I don't enjoy it. If I'm half-arsing it and I'm going, I'd just go pleasure fishing if I wanted to do that. I don't enjoy match fishing. If it's not I enjoy the trying hard, and I enjoy that. It's not just fishing, it's more than that. Because if it was only fishing, I'd be sat on river.
Now, I always say, and I had this chat with a few people over the weekend, if you're fishing competitions at the highest level, it's intense. It's about winning. And if losing or having a bad match or like drawing a bad peg doesn't hurt, what's the point?
Yeah. One thing I would say, what's really interesting in this, obviously, I know Roon loves a bit of barbelling and done all sorts, carp fishing, sea fishing, everything on side. Steve, your little escape is your chub and barbel. I'm quite close with Will Raisin, obviously fish with him internationally a lot. And Will is a ridiculously intense person. Ridiculous. One of the most intense I've ever spent any time with. I'm sure you two will agree. And he's also one of the very best anglers in the world, in my opinion. But Will's intensity is frightening. And that's what makes him so good. He thinks about everything so deeply for a long time. He can't switch off. Sorry, banging mic. But Will's escape is very similar. He'll go carp fishing, and he doesn't write about it on his social media at all. He's
been ringing me up. He's been ringing me up. He's been perch fishing.
That's what I mean. He goes perch
he's absolutely loving it. You can the excitement in his voice. He's caught some really good perch, and he's like, "You need to come down. We'll have a day perch fishing." And like you say, it's breaking up the intensity of the competition scene.
Yes, massively. But it's nice to know that sort of as angler, or what it really shows for me is that match fishing's maybe not that good for upstairs if you're super intense. But then we've all got fishing as our escape from that as well.
But I think it shows as well, because you get these, obviously, the trolls, as you call them on Facebook. They're only in it for the money.
Yeah.
Not in it for the money. I'm in it because I love fishing.
Yeah.
But equally, I love the one chub, like one big chub, some barbel, or winning a match. I love it all.
Yeah.
But the intensity of the match, obviously, is different to trying to catch a chub on a river.
No, I think with the competition, like you're saying, the fishing that you're doing, and it isn't good for your mental health. It is different because you don't come back from a disastrous match and curl up in a ball and hide under your bed covers for a week. You do your own head in trying to figure out why you come to that conclusion, and next time how you're going to make it better. So it is horrible at the time, but you put a positive spin on it, which is where I think a lot of mental health issues, they struggle to put that spin on it at the end. But like you say, getting away fishing and getting out in the fresh air is an absolute winner when there's no pressure on, for sure.
I'd say one thing I would say, I suppose, Big G, he sometimes struggles a bit upstairs, Roon. And Scotland.
Oh, yeah.
Gordy. And he sometimes messages me saying, my head's a bit of a shed at the minute, and I'm sure he won't mind me mentioning it. Fantastic guy, absolutely love him to bits.
Diamond.
And he said, I said, are you all right? And he's like, my head's a bit. And I said to him the other day, I said, go and do some exercise or go outside, be outside. Like the one thing I'd say that fishing offers that a lot of other things don't, I am crap indoors, me. I hate it. A day working from home when I'm ready to kill everyone in reaching distance. It just doesn't bide well. And I'm lucky. I ain't had anything too bad. I'm all right. I wouldn't say I'm in a mental state. Some people might. But never, ever do I go outside for a little walk, go for a run, go to the gym, go for a stroll, whatever it might be. Go and see some people who I like, mixing with other people who you enjoy the company of. Never do I do any of them and come back and feel worse. I only ever feel better. And fishing offers so much of that, mixing with people, doing something you enjoy, the outside fresh air exercise element.
That's one of the most enjoyable things I love about that Hallcroft League that we fish.
Yeah,
is the breakfast and the crack in the morning and the crack after the match.
It's great, isn't it?
It's one of the few places where even when you've caught nothing, everyone goes back.
You want to go back?
Yes, exactly, because there's going to be good banter, have a drink, have something to eat, and the atmosphere. Even when you've had a bad day, the atmosphere raises you back up.
Yes, and that's because of people.
Yes, yeah,
because of people. It is. Steve, I have challenged you with this week's pick me an angler. Have you got me one? Have you got me an angler?
I haven't got you an angler. I thought you had to pick you a question where you choose the angler.
Have you got me a situation? Come on.
An angler?
I haven't done one yet.
Pardon?
I don't think you've done one yet.
I haven't done one yet, no. I was on the phone to Frankie when you messaged this. I asked him for some inspiration, but it was useless. Pick me an angler to catch on a hard day 2 double-figure carp on a method feeder at 100-meter plus distance.
Oh, can it be anyone in the world?
Yeah, but you're going to pick the same person now.
Can't be Andy Bennett.
No, it won't be Andy Bennett. I didn't say 100 metres up. I said 100 metres out.
Just think, Bennett's come all the way through this show without getting hammered, and we've got to the last hurdle and he's going to get hammered.
Bagger chucks so high, there's snow on his feeder when it comes down.
Yeah, he has like cloud dust around his feeder when it lands.
That bloke, when he was at Hayfield, that bloke in the crane, it was like watching Bagger's feeder coming at eye level.
Yeah. 14 minutes to February.
I'll tell you what, you can go first, Matt.
I'd pick you. I would pick you.
I'd have picked me too.
No, I would. Without a doubt. I've seen you do it. It's frightening. You make it look easy, mate. And until you've actually tried to cast 100 metres, folks, I don't know if many people have. Stick a rod up at 100 metres and try and cast there. It is so hard. It takes a lot of hard work to get there. What I would say is, though, it's not just about the being able to get there. It's about having your bait right. It's about having the right hook bait on. It's having the right rig on, so that at 100 metres, when that fish sucks in your wafter or whatever bait you've got on the method or hybrid feeder, it gets hooked properly. And if you're only catching 2, you've got to have so much confidence.
Yeah.
And you piss me off that you are that good at all that. It winds me up. I come away. Sometimes I don't like you. Because how does he do it? It just makes it happen. But you've got this, it's the intensity and it's the drive and it's the practice and the time. And I would pick you definitely to do that for me above anyone else on the planet. And I hope I've given good reason why in my answer.
Yeah, well, I always look at it, people regard it as like chuck it and chance it, but to me, it's just another skill set.
There's loads to it.
Yeah, like people say, catching 2 fish at like Boddington in winter on a hard day, it's luck. It's not luck. You don't catch fish, particularly at Boddington. And a lot of venues in Europe are the same. The best anglers are the best anglers because they think differently.
Yeah.
Like when you're trying to catch 2 fish, you plan out your route through your peg, setting traps, etc. It's just another skill set. It's another way of fishing.
Yeah. Rune, who are you picking? Sorry if I've took your man.
I know who Rune's going to pick.
I think I know. I'm just going to blow my nose. Sorry.
Sorry about your elephant on the podcast this week. Old Dumbo.
I'm clear. I've got a read pilot.
Well, I'm going to pick someone different that you don't think I'm going to pick. I should really pick Frankie because I really upset him last week when I didn't pick him for the England feeder team. And the only reason I didn't pick him for the England feeder team is I thought he'd already got one of his pigs and troughs where he's swapping around all the different England teams he's trying to pick. He'd be very capable at the casting, but it would depending how long it took to get a bite, whether he'd survive the 2 fish.
His temperament to that. 3 hours in, Tanky'd be face down in the water.
And I believe people, there's a few now that can cast 100 metres, but not many can cast it with the, what it needs to be done, how it lands, how it's going to perform while it's out there. And to be fair, I'm not blowing any smoke up his arse, but there's 2 people that I think could definitely do it, and that's Steve and his brother. That is it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to pick someone totally different who I think Steve should have a match against.
No, you're going to pick who I would have picked now.
Yeah.
He's not English, is he?
No. And that is Peter Bacco. I've never seen anyone cast so far, but again, with the skill set involved, doing it for a purpose, not just launching it out there. He's fantastic, and he catches fish out of a puddle, literally. I'd go with him, and I think we should do a live match against Ringer.
No, because he can outchuck. Bacco can outchuck me. To be fair to him,
Bacco live match would be incredible.
He's an incredible caster. His hand speed is so fast. If you were next to him, it sounds like he's cracked off.
Yeah.
But it's not.
I went fishing with him in Hungary, and he was casting 165 metres, smashing the clip, feathering it in, and catching carp like there was no tomorrow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Peter Bacco versus Steve Ringer.
Yeah.
If you've had a question read out, folks, today, drop us an email, info@tackleguru.co.uk, and we'll get you a nice little water bottle sent over. If you've got some questions and topics for next week, please put them below. Some great ones coming through every week still. But please let us know. If you're thinking it, say it. Make sure you let us know, because even if it's something that just inspires a thought for us to have a good natter about something, we can do it. And also, little reminder, this is the last week that you can make the most of the Guru clothing discount. It'll be running until this Saturday, the 31st of January, and you get 15% off as a weigh-in listener if you go to tackleguruclothing.com, which is a nice little January deal for you. The discount code you need is weigh-in15. Capital letters, weigh-in, no spaces, and 15. That's tackleguruclothing.com. See you next week.